Hey guys, welcome to another video. If you're new here, I'm Kelly, and today's video is a fun one because we are going to talk about my number one favorite product in each category of my makeup. And it's actually like a little get ready with me, try on style. I'm gonna be sharing each of these products with you. I'm gonna let you know why they're my favorite, why I like each of these products. But even more exciting than that is the fact that this video here is a collaboration with my beautiful friend, Charlotte Holdcroft. Charlotte is a UK-based beauty blogger. If you are not familiar with her, I will have all of her information listed down below. But I found Charlotte's channel several months ago now, and I think it was through like a tag video. I can't remember, but I found her channel and instantly fell in love. First of all, her accent is amazing. Second of all, she's gorgeous, but she has all kinds of content on her channel. She does tons of review for new makeup. She talks about favorites, products that didn't work for her. She does tag videos. She just has the kind of content that I like to watch. I myself am very into talking about makeup on my channel, so I feel like when I watch Charlotte's channel, it's like sitting down with a girlfriend and we're chatting about makeup, and I love that. I also think that she has a great sense of humor. I think she has these like one-liners and phrases that just make me laugh every time that I'm watching her. She is someone where I could totally see us just like going out for coffee or tea, sitting down, chatting, and I think it would be the best time ever. So I reached out to Charlotte and asked her to do this collab with me. And I was so thrilled when she said yes right off the bat. It's always a little nerve-wracking when you're asking another content creator if they want to collab with you. And I filmed a video in the beginning of the year, and it was like a New Year's goals type of video. And in that video, I talked about some content creators that I think would be fun to do a collab with. And I mentioned Charlotte, and I tagged her channel. And I remember in the bottom in the comment section of that video, she commented and was like, let's make that happen this year. And so I took that as an invitation to go ahead and ask her to collab. It took me a couple months to work up the nerve, but she started following me on social media after that. She has been super supportive. We've chatted over on Instagram, and I just think Charlotte's an awesome person. I love that she not only talks about beauty content on her channel, but she's also made some videos about like real life stuff, things that are going on in the world that are important to her, and I just have so much respect for that. I think Charlotte is amazing, and Charlotte, thank you so much for collaborating with me on this video. When I reached out to her, I literally just said, hey girl, like I would love to collab with you. I don't have a time frame in mind. I don't have an idea in mind. Would you be open to collabing? And she responded and was like, yes, let's do it. And so she actually said that she had this video idea to talk about her current number one favorite products in each makeup category. She was like, is that something you'd be interested in doing? And I love talking about makeup. So of course I said yes. And that's what we're gonna do here today. But if you are coming over from Charlotte's channel, hello, welcome. My name is Kelly. I am a US-based beauty blogger. I live in Texas, but I am from the state of Michigan, born and raised. I've been in Texas for almost 11 years now. I am a teacher. So full-time, I am teaching elementary school. So I like to say that I am a teacher by day and a makeup junkie by night. I just love all things makeup and beauty. I love talking about makeup. And even though this video has kind of like a get ready with me makeup tutorial vibe, I do a lot of talking videos on my channel. I like to talk about new makeup. I like to talk about makeup that I picked up. I like to talk about new makeup products. So I kind of have like a little bit of everything. So if you enjoyed this video, I would love to have you subscribe, stay a while, be part of the K-Bella fam, and just talk about makeup with me. But I have a feeling this will be a long one because I've been filming for a while, so why don't we just go ahead and jump into the video. Okay, I always feel a little weird filming these type of videos because I haven't filmed my intro yet. So I don't know what I've said to you. I don't know what I'm going to say to you. And it's almost like I feel like I need to introduce what I'm doing. but I've clearly already done that. So we are going to go in the order of the way that I apply products on my face. So when I'm sitting down in the morning, when I'm getting ready, I like to prime my face first, and I'm cheating a little bit because I have two primers, but they serve different purposes. I do have dry skin, so the first primer that I like to go in with, this would be my favorite for hydration at the moment, and it is the Glow Recipe Watermelon Glow Niacinamide Dewdrops. These are for the ultimate glow and brightening. So as a dry skinned gal, these drops are my favorite to provide hydration and just make my skin look a little bit more glowy and very healthy looking. Now we are entering the spring and summer months here in Texas, so the weather is about to get a ton warmer and very humid. So I don't typically struggle with like dry spots or like my skin feeling overly tight in the spring and summer months. So my primer needs may change going forward, but currently, right now, as we're exiting winter, as we're exiting the colder months, this is what I've been reaching for. This can be used as skincare as well, but I use it as a primer. So I've already gone in with my entire skincare routine. I've gone in with a sunscreen, and I use that to give me like a glow and a healthy look. So you can see here, this is still just my skin, but a little bit of a glow. And I think that's probably why I didn't go crazy over the Glow by Auric Glow Lust. I did do a review on that. I'll link that here if you want to check that out. I thought it was a good product, but I already had a routine going to like hydrate my face. So the next primer that I like to go in with is one that's going to fill my pores and give me like a smooth canvas. Also, it will help my makeup last more. I don't go in with my dewdrops thinking, oh, this is really gonna make my makeup stick to my face. So the next product that I like to go in with is my Silk Canvas. I've been using the solid. I know a lot of people really like the liquid, especially people with dry skin. I've been going in with the solid, and what I do is I just take a little bit on my nail here and I'll put it on the sides of my nose and my cheek area where my pores are the largest, and I take a little bit up here onto my forehead because that's where my wrinkles are. And I just press it into the skin. I'm like pressing and rolling. And I find that this will help my makeup stick, but also, especially on the forehead, it helps my foundation not to sink into those fine lines that I have. I'm very expressive, and you'll see when I'm doing my eye makeup that because I have hooded eyes and they're small, I lift my forehead up a lot. So I really need a primer that's going to help kind of stop my foundation from soaking into the skin. So that is why I like to go in with my Tatcha Silk Canvas. Now, most of the time, like on a day-to-day, everyday basis, I go in with my base first, my foundation, my concealer. If you have an eyeshadow palette that you haven't worked with before, or if you have an eyeshadow palette that has a lot of fallout, you'll probably want to do this step last. But with the products that I'm using, I know that it's okay to go in with my foundation next. And so my current #1 favorite foundation of the moment is the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Perfect Glow Flawless Foundation. I love this foundation. It comes with a hefty price tag, but we do have the Sephora VIB sale coming up soon. And I was watching Charlotte's video, her recommendation video, and I feel like she said that she didn't have Sephora in the UK, so she was filming a video knowing that she wasn't going to be able to participate in the sale, and I did not know that, because being a US-based beauty blogger, I mean, I'm always hearing the sale coming up, I'm shopping the sale, and so I didn't realize that Charlotte couldn't enjoy the sale, but she does have a video of her favorites that you can find at Sephora, so definitely check that out. But If you are in the US and Canada and you're able to pick this up on sale, the sale is coming up, so I definitely recommend it. If you are a similar skin tone to me, I'm going in with the shade 4.5. I definitely lean more toward a neutral undertone at the moment, and I go for the light shades. So not the fairest of the fair, but definitely in the light or light fair category. I'm gonna turn my light up just a touch. I felt like my background was a little bit dark. Hopefully that helped. If you don't see a difference, well then there's that. So I'm gonna take my Luminous Silk and put about a pump and a quarter on the back of my hand, and then I just take my finger and dot that onto the skin. I haven't been out in the sun much, so you can see this definitely is a little bit deeper than my skin tone at the moment, but that's okay. You know, quarantine had us all inside, but hopefully here soon. I am halfway vaccinated. I am 1 shot in, so hopefully here as as this is going up, I will be getting my second shot, my second dose of the vaccine. So hopefully I will be outside in the near future. My favorite way to apply foundation is with a beauty sponge. This is the one by BK Beauty. I have been using the Beauty Blender for years and years and years. That one's $20. This BK sponge is $12 on the website, so I will have this and everything I'm using linked down below, but I definitely recommend this one. It's more affordable than the Beauty Blender and it works just as well. I also really like that there's like a ridge here for my hand to hold. I'm also gonna spray it with a tiny bit of Fix Plus. I don't really know why I do that, but I feel like it helps everything to blend in a little bit smoother. And then what I'm doing is I'm just like pouncing my Beauty Blender back and forth. I'm not rubbing it, I'm just pouncing it in, and I am dragging a little bit down underneath my chin and on my jawline. That way I don't have like a harsh line of where my foundation stops and I guess my natural skin tone pokes through. So this is 1 coat of the foundation here. It definitely gives you more of like a lighter coverage, but it is buildable. So I have a tiny bit left on the back of my hand, and I'm just going to put that where I have any redness, any blemishes. If you prefer full coverage, this is not going to be for you. It is going to give you more of a light to medium coverage where you can build it up a tiny bit, but it's not going to be full coverage. It's also not going to be a matte. Like I said, I have dry skin, so I tend to look for more like satin luminous finishes, and this foundation definitely gives me a more luminous finish. So here we have it. Part of why I like to go in with my foundation first is because, as you can see, my eyebrows are very light, they're very thin, and I basically have to draw these bad boys in every day and create a brow. I do use 3 products. These are my 3 holy grail eyebrow products. They're all by Anastasia Beverly Hills, so I understand they come with a higher price tag, but being a natural redhead, the shade Caramel is just the shade that works for me the best. So first we're gonna go in with the ABH Brow Wiz in Caramel, then we're going to fill in my more sparse areas with the Brow Definer in Caramel, and we're gonna top it off with the ABH Clear Brow Gel. I heard someone once refer to this as like hairspray for the brows, and they said that's why they didn't like it. This is like hairspray for the brows, and that's why I love it. So there you can see 1 brow is done, the other is completely naked, and I basically have to just draw it in from scratch. So the reason why these 2 products and the Clear Brow Gel are my favorites are because I haven't found a shade in other brands as close to my natural hair color as Caramel, and then since my brows are so sparse, the ones that I do have, I feel like they naturally fall downward, and I really want to hairspray them in with the Clear Brow Gel. So I'm gonna go ahead, do the other brow off camera, and then we will continue with the rest of my #1 current favorite products. Okay, my current #1 go-to concealer at the moment is by Pat McGrath. It is the Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Concealer in the shade L5. This was one of those, like, YouTube made me buy it, where I kept hearing everybody raving about this concealer and saying that it was the best thing ever. And let me tell you, this concealer is like $30-something, so it's expensive. So it took me a while before I actually went ahead and purchased it, but as you can see, it is now in my collection, and in my opinion, it is definitely worth the hype. I have dry under eyes because I have dry skin. I struggle with eczema on the eyelids and underneath. Also, I'm doing this on purpose. I'm letting my concealer sit for a minute while I chat with you, but I look for a concealer that is going to cover the dark circles that I have from momming, from working, from life, but also that will be more lightweight, more of a creamy texture, not very thick. I was not a fan of the Tarte Shape Tape. I felt that it was too thick, so I like more of a thin consistency that's going to blend out but give me coverage and not dry out my under eyes, and I feel like this one really does it for me. I also am going to take my beauty blender, give it a little spritz, I should say my beauty sponge, give it a little spritz with my MAC Fix Plus. I dab it on the back of my hand, and then again, we are just going to press this into the skin to blend it out. And when I am blending it out, I'm pressing underneath my eye down a little ways first, and I'm taking whatever's left on the sponge and bringing that up underneath my eye. I do have some fine lines under there, and so I don't want the majority of my concealer to be directly under my eye. That's why I didn't apply it that close, because I find that when I do that, the concealer sinks into my skin, sinks into those fine lines, and looks really crepey and gross. Then I'm going to set that. I only set underneath my eyes. I do not set my whole face. And I am going to take my Laura Mercier translucent powder, and I'm going to dip the part of my sponge that I have not used, the back part on the tip. I'm going to dip that into my powder and just press it lightly underneath my eyes. I don't want to get a ton of powder because, again, having dry under eyes, I don't want it to look cakey and creasy, but I do want to make sure that because I have those fine lines, I really want to set underneath my eyes and make sure that the concealer doesn't budge. I'm also going to take a little bit of that powder and set my forehead lines just again to make sure that my foundation stays where I want it to and doesn't settle anywhere that it shouldn't. My number one go-to bronzer at the moment, she comes with a hefty price tag, but it is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Bronzer. It's a matte bronzer, and I have the shade 2 Medium. I am a huge Charlotte Tilbury fan. This packaging is amazing, but the product itself is also amazing on the inside, and I like to go in with my BK Beauty 103 brush. The reason why I like this brush is because it is fluffy, so it's going to blend out the product nicely, but the way that it's shaped, it also can get right into the contours of my cheeks and chisel out my cheeks the way that I want it to. I'm not necessarily trying to contour, I'm not necessarily trying to create a sharp, harsh line, but I do have more of an oval face. I like to give it definition, and I feel like bronzer is really a helpful way to do that. So by using this fluffy brush, I can get the product right into the hollows of my cheeks, but then it's fluffy enough where I can also blend it out and it looks more diffused while also giving my face some shape. And this shade really works for me. I feel like light might have been a little bit too fair, even though I do have a more light complexion. I feel like the medium, you can build it up. So even if you had more of a medium to tan skin tone, you really could build this up. It blends nicely, it lasts on the skin, and it's very comfortable. So even though this comes with a high price tag, I definitely love this bronzer, and I find myself reaching for it all the time. For blush, I literally have to force myself not to use this blush because I am telling you, I am constantly reaching for it because I think it looks so good on my skin. And I am talking about the Melt Cosmetics Digital Dust Duo Blush in Raw Honey. I almost didn't even get this blush. I almost didn't even get it, but I am absolutely obsessed with it. I typically just mix my brush into both sides and apply it onto the cheeks. The brush that I'm gonna be using today is the Real Techniques blush brush. I've just had it in my collection for a long time. It's the brush I always use when I'm applying blush because it's so fluffy, and you'll see I like to put it more in the hollows of my cheeks and then tap it onto my cheekbones. But I feel like this Melt Cosmetics blush just gives my skin a nice, healthy looking flush without being too glowy. There's no chunks of glitter. It doesn't look like I have highlighter on my cheeks, yet it just makes my skin look so healthy. It looks like a natural flush on the cheeks. And like I said, I find myself reaching for this blush so often that I have to tell myself, Kelly, put this one down and use something else in your collection. If you do have texture on your skin, this may not be your favorite blush. I do have a couple of girlfriends who have some texture on their skin and they feel like this blush emphasizes that. I have not had that problem, but I also don't struggle with texture on my skin. So I did want to say that while this is my favorite blush at the moment, I don't struggle with texture, so the glowiness of the blush doesn't affect me in that way. Sometimes I feel like the lights can wash you out a little bit, but you can see it gives my skin a healthy glow, but it still looks natural. It doesn't look like a stark highlight. It doesn't look like there are specks of glitter, but I feel like my skin looks healthy, and I love that. If you are not new to my channel, then you know. You may know what the highlighter is because I have been raving about this highlighter for so long. I wanted it in my collection for so long, and I'm absolutely obsessed with it. It's the Natasha Denona Super Glow. I have the shade Fair, and if you want to look like you are glowing, if you want to look like you are a vampire in Twilight, and when you step out into the sun, you are going to shine, then this highlighter is for you. There are no chunks of glitter. There are no specks of glitter. It just, watch. It just makes my skin look so healthy and glowy. But there are no streaks. I'm not glittery. It literally looks like my skin. My best friend Smags is the one who put me onto this highlight, and it's because I would always look at her skin and I was like, your skin itself looks like it's glowing. Like, people who know makeup know that you put highlighter on, but it doesn't look like you put highlighter on. It literally just looks like your skin itself is glowing from within. If you have oily skin, I don't know that that's really the look that you're going for. I feel like the people that I know with oily skin are typically trying to combat the glowiness, but for me, having dry skin, I love it. I love it because it's natural. It gives me a very vibrant highlight. I'm definitely glowing, but it looks so natural and there are no chunks in it. I absolutely love it. I'm obsessed with it. I use it all the time. My favorite brush to apply highlighter with is the Tapered Highlighter F35 from Sigma. I like it because it just fits right on the high points of my cheeks, but also, again, has the fluffiness to like really blend it in and make it mesh with my skin. Okay, so that brings us to eyeshadow palettes. As you can see, my eyeshadow here is done, but I'm gonna show you, don't worry, I'm gonna show you how we got this look. But I was thinking, if I lost all of my eyeshadow palettes today, first of all, I would cry, but second of all, which palette am I most likely to go ahead and purchase first? Now, I'm a neutral girl. I'm a neutral lover. If you are not new to my channel, if you've been here for a while, you know I don't really do colorful outside the box looks. I stick to my neutrals. So the eyeshadow palette that I reach for all the time, that's great for day to day, that I can do light and airy, beautiful, easy looks with, or the palette that can really make it like deep and vampy and glam for date night is my Natasha Denona Glam Palette. This is definitely, I mean, I ranked it #1 in my eyeshadow palettes that I tried in 2020, but it is my overall #1 eyeshadow palette in my collection. Hands down. I tend to be more of a warm toned lover myself, but this eyeshadow palette just gives me everything that I want. I can create nice, neutral, everyday looks very quick and easy. I love the formula. I find that these shimmers glide on beautifully. They give me a nice pop on the eyes. I have very minimal fallout, but you can also vamp it up. You have a black for like a deep smoky liner. You have some golds if you do want to lean into more of a warm toned look, but you also have the silvers and the pinks, and it's just everything that I'm looking for in a day-to-day eyeshadow palette. This eyeshadow palette does retail for $65, so it is on the pricey side. But again, the Sephora VIB sale is coming up. If this is on your wish list, I definitely highly recommend jumping on it. You do get a nice big mirror in here, and I'm just obsessed with this eyeshadow palette. So for the look that I created today, I did start with a very old Real Techniques brush. I don't even know what it's called, the accent brush, but it's fluffy. And so I dipped that into the transition shade after I primed. I did prime my eyes with the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Amplifying Eye Primer. That's my current favorite at the moment because it gives me a nice sticky tacky base, but it doesn't irritate my eczema. But I do like to set my eyeshadow primer, so that's why I went in with transition, and I tapped it onto my crease and then up to the upper brow bone. Because I have hooded eyes, when I open my eyes, I do get a crease there. So if I don't set my eyeshadow primer, then we have issues. Then we have creasing. So that's why I went in with the transition shade. It's not necessarily my skin tone, but it's the lightest shade in the palette, and it just helps my shadows to glide on smoothly after that. Then I followed it up with my BK Beauty, what is this, 201 brush, and I dipped into the shade Blend. I don't love that these eyeshadow shades don't have actual names because you can pop them out and rearrange them. So if you do pop them out and rearrange them, then you don't necessarily know what eyeshadow shades I'm using. I did not rearrange mine. So it is the shade Blend. It is a brown tone, but it's more of like a brown neutral, almost warm toned, but still leaning more neutral. And I took that fluffy brush, the 201 from BK Beauty, and I just blended that all over the crease. I didn't have any rhyme or reason. I just kind of threw it where I wanted it and used that to give myself a nice base. But I did want more detail. I did want to define the crease, and since I do have hooded eyes, I do have to take the definition a little bit higher than my crease, but I still don't want to bring it up into the brow bone. For this, I like to use my BK Beauty 202 brush, and I dipped into the crease shade. The crease shade is a brown shade, but it has a gray undertone, a much cooler undertone, and so I find that that really gives my crease definition. Since my eyes are hooded and you can't really see anything, I like to make it look like there is a little bit of a shadow there, so that crease shade really works out well for me when I'm doing that. And my favorite eyeshadow shader brush is by Royal & Langnickel. It's their medium eye shader. I feel like it really packs on the shimmer, but you can see the shimmer. You get a punch of color. So I took my medium eye shader, dipped it into the pink center eyelid shade. It's in the top left-hand corner. Spritzed my brush with a little bit of Fix Plus, and I used that to just pack on the shadow. You could also use your finger and really get a nice vibrant pop on the lid that way. I do like to put shadow on my lower lash line because I have those fine lines. I feel like the shadow just kind of helps to blend everything out and to set my concealer even more. And I really like to use my Sigma Pencil E30 to do this. So I dipped back into that blend shade. Typically on my lower lash line, it's whatever I used in the crease. So I dipped into Blend. I used that to kind of smoke out my lower lash line, and that I feel like just helps bring the look together. It doesn't look so top heavy, and it covers up some of those fine lines that I have. For the inner corner, I do like to use my finger. I feel like I get the best pigmentation when using my finger. So I dipped my finger first into the inner corner that's on the top row, and I tapped that into the inner corner, but that leans a little bit more pink. And I did want it to be bright and icy, so I also dipped into the middle row inner corner that is more silver, and I put that on top. And again, I just pressed it in with my finger, blended it in with my finger, and that gives me a nice vibrant pop in the inner corner. But I feel like my fingers work best for that because I can't get that intense pigment with a brush. I did go right into lashes after that, and I didn't get this on camera. I do curl my lashes. I just used a Tweezerman eyelash curler. I feel like whatever you have will work. But for my eyelash routine, the way that I like to apply mascara is I like to go in with a voluminous mascara first, then I like to take a lengthening mascara and put that on top to kind of spread out and lengthen the lashes. Now, my current all-time favorite volumizing mascara is the Lancome Monsieur Big Mascara, but I don't have that in my collection at the moment. I don't like to have multiple mascaras open at the same time, and I did just finish a Monsieur Big. So the next mascara, my second choice would be one from the drugstore, and it's Maybelline The Rocket. I love this to create volume. I'll go in with 2 coats first, really make my lashes look bold and defined, and then I will top it with my favorite lengthening mascara, which is the Benefit Roller Lash. I like this one because if my volumizing mascara gets a little bit clumpy, then this mascara will kind of separate those clumps, but also give me a little bit of length and smokiness. It looks beautiful, and you're left with this look here. So now we need to end with lips. Now I'm going to show you a lip combo. This has been my favorite lip combo. These aren't necessarily my favorite lip liner, lipstick, and lip gloss if they were separate, but it's my favorite lip combo. And currently, at the moment, I like to go in with my ColourPop Lippy Pencil in the shade Cool BFF, and I like to fill in my entire lip. This is one of those grayish tones, like gray and beige mixed together, grayish. So it does give you more of a cooler lip tone. I like to fill it in because what I go in with next is my Kylie Cosmetics Bare Liquid Lipstick, the Velvet Lipstick formula. And I like to put that on top, and this is more of like a pinky nude tone. So the grayish tone from the Cool BFF Lippy Pencil, the cool tone gives me more of like a purple undertone, but the pink really warms it up. And the combination of the two, I feel like just makes a really unique color that I love so much. And I will totally stop there and wear it like that. But if you are a gloss fan and you do want to put a little bit of lip gloss on top, my favorite at the moment is by Ofra. It's in collaboration with Samantha March, her lip gloss in Millie. And I typically like to just put a little bit on my finger, and I'll dab it right in the center of my lips and press my lips together. And I just feel like it gives me a nice, beautiful look. And with that, that's gonna wrap up this video. I feel like this is probably a long one, so if you made it to the end, thank you guys so much for watching. Give this a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and a special thank you to my girl Charlotte. If you have not checked out Charlotte's channel, she is linked down below. Go check her out, tell her I sent you. But Charlotte is absolutely amazing. I think she is a wonderful content creator here on YouTube, and I'm just so thankful to have a girlfriend across the pond over in the UK. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Let me know your #1 favorites in the comments down below. Let me know if you have any thoughts on these products that I mentioned here. But if you're new, I hope that you'll subscribe before you go. Stay a while. That way I can see you in the next one. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.
That